Hey guys, what is up? This is Cody, or xCodeh. How's it going today? Hopefully everybody watching this video is having yourself a snazzy day. Let me know in the comments down below where you're watching the video from, inside or outside of the United States. I always love to know. I made this video yesterday, and guess what happens? The amount of times in my videos where I'm like, oh, am I still recording? I wasn't recording. I made the entire video wasn't recording. Today's video is a life story about the first school fight that I ever encountered. And this was absolutely insane. It was back when I lived in a different town, and in this town, the kids were wild. Absolutely wild compared to the town that I actually grew up in. I feel like being in this school kind of like slowly developed me into my jabroni ways for when I moved back to my hometown and just started getting in trouble left and right. Started doing all sorts of illegal stuff. And by illegal, I mean like skipping school, smoking weed. Nothing too crazy, I promise you. It was almost like a weekly event. Kind of like WWE sponsored this school, and just there's fights all the time throughout the hallways. You'd be going from class to class, and then there'd just be this giant horde of people, loud noises, and just bam, bam, fucking smack people across their face. It was honestly insane. It was bright and early on this middle school day. I remember we had to go to study hall first thing in the morning. Can I just put this on the table? Why in the flying fuck are you gonna wake me up at 7:30 in the morning for me to sit in a room and do homework that I already had finished? Like, if you're in middle school and you get homework and you don't finish it by the end of that class, what are you doing with your time? That shit is so easy. It was bright and early. Rolled in there at 7:30. Put my head down as tradition, because what else are you going to do at 7:30 in the morning with nothing to do? And I remember that my study hall teacher was also my science teacher, and he was like the most military-built, mean dude you can possibly imagine. I remember there was one time where all of us had a quiz the next day, and nobody in the entire class, except that one nerdy kid, did the homework, and he got so fucking mad. He got up and he's like, "Attention everybody, it has come to my attention that none of you have done the homework. You have a quiz tomorrow. Do you understand how serious it is to do your homework? None of you have any work ethic. You're all gonna work at McDonald's." He gave us this whole speech and how we're just just the worst students he's ever had, and everybody failed the quiz. I think that one nerdy kid got an A as usual, but yeah. He was about as old school as it comes when it comes to teachers, and he took his job very seriously, like way too seriously, honestly. His face used to get all red. He got so steamed. So I was about halfway through this study hall, and I was, like I said, didn't have anything to do. And what do you do when you got nothing to do in class? You have to go to the bathroom, take laps around the school for 15 minutes. The standard. So I walk up to his desk and I put my planner there for him to sign it. I don't know why we had to sign in and out to go to the bathroom. Asking to go to the bathroom in middle school was the equivalent of asking them to lend you $1,000 and for you to stay at their house for the night. Like, it was truly like mission impossible. It was like, it was against their policy, against, like, when they were taught how to be a teacher, they were like, "Don't you let the kids go to the bathroom too much. There's a strict 3-person quota per class. If you got any more going to the bathroom, you're fired." There were so many times when I was in middle school when kids were like, "Yo, I gotta go to the bathroom, Mr. This, I gotta go to the bathroom," and he'd be like, "Do you work first?" Like, what? What do you mean? So after him giving me shit for about 5 minutes, he actually signed my planner, let me go to the bathroom. I leave the class and I walk past my locker. I'm about halfway to the bathroom, and I hear the horde, rolling in. I hear like 5 or 6 kids coming out of nowhere, all with planners in their hand, exactly what I'm doing. And I kind of, look back all nosy like, "Oh, going on over here?" But there wasn't like a giant group of people like there usually is. Like they usually got like 50, 60 kids all knowing exactly what's going down. Like there'd be so many kids that they would like huddle around the fight just to block the teachers out so they couldn't break it up. It was I can't even express to you how insane this was. I'm like almost to the bathroom, and then I hear the arguments start. It's 2 girls and they are just going in on each other. I don't remember exactly what they were saying. This was literally 10 years ago. Give me a break. And then I start to, walk back. I want to see this because it was like a rare moment that there was only 5 or 6 kids there. It was so hard to see when there's like everybody in the entire hallway just crowding towards the fight. You'd have to like be jumping and shit, be able to see, looking over people's shoulders. So I walk back up towards my locker, and this fight is like almost in front of me at this point. I got the front row pay-per-view seat of this WWE fight. This was top-notch entertainment for 7:30 in the morning. So it goes from like intense arguing, from pushing back and forth, to bam, smack across the face. The anger was building. You know, they started wrestling all on the floor and everything. And then it got real, dude. It got so real. One of the girls they were screaming at the top of their lungs. All the doors opened up to all the teachers. They're like, hey, what's going on here? Break it up, break it up. But then everybody started crowding around, blocking them out and everything. This girl picks up the other girl, full hand full of hair, rips her off the ground, and fucking throws her into my locker. I dodge out of the way. Like, it was fucking insane. I dodge out of the way. She slams into my locker. I'll never forget the sound of her skull smashing against my locker. Absolutely horrible. The girl that got thrown is now on the ground. This other girl is beating the shit out of her, like relentlessly. And then the teachers came in and broke it up, like really, really quick after that. They used to go in on these fights. Like, they would tackle the people that were fighting and everything. And they were kids. Like, it blew my mind that they were even allowed to do that. And then the teachers got all high and mighty, like, everybody back to class right now. Anybody still in class gets a detention. I wasn't trying to get detention at that age, all right? I wasn't that much of a badass. I was, you know, I'd say I was in with that nerdy kid, okay? Listen, okay? I kind of threw a little low-key shade on him earlier, but he was like one of my best friends at the time. So everybody disperses, everybody goes back to class, and I go to the bathroom because, you know, I actually had to go to the bathroom. And I walk out of the bathroom, and I start walking towards my lockers where all this war zone went on, and holy shit. There was blood everywhere. There was hair extensions, hair clumps all over the hallway. It was honestly disgusting. Like, I was looking there like, this is so much hair. And I remember not noticing until the end of study hall. I went back to study hall. The bell rang like 15 minutes later. And I went to my locker. Dude, where this girl's head hit my locker, where her skull made contact with the metal locker, there was a fucking huge dent. A huge dent in the locker. You know, when you go to middle school, you get your first locker. Even in high school, you get a new locker every year. You open it up and you're like, oh shit, I got one with a bunch of stickers. Yeah, mine had a fucking dent from someone's skull in it. Like, this locker was so messed up, the janitor had to come and fix the lock because the locking mechanism wouldn't work all the way, and you could just open my locker. Never ended up fixing it. You literally could just like lift the thing up and open it the entire year. It wasn't that big of a deal, but like still. She broke the entire locker. And I was almost caught in the crossfire too. If I hadn't done that quick hop to the left, I would have been the one with the dent. Seriously, could you imagine if I was involved in that fight? Like, they knocked into me thinking that I was into the fight, and then they started fucking beating the shit out of me. This school was absolutely insane. It was almost like a weekly basis after that there would be huge fights in the hallway. I definitely have some more crazy stories about this school. And honestly, it was some of the most fun years I ever had in school. I mean, how could you not like middle school? It was just no responsibilities. Summer vacation was super lit. Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever been involved in a school fight. That shit's not fun. Definitely is not fun. I've been in a couple fights back in high school. They're really embarrassing. I've never been a fighter. As you know, I'm not the most muscular human being on this planet. If you guys would like me to embarrass myself and go back on those stories, let me know by leaving a like on this video. I would strongly recommend not having fights in school if you ever in the situation. Wait towards after school, because in this day and age, 2019, they'll probably call the helicopters on you, charge you with assault, put you in Alcatraz. Shit's gotten so real since I was in school, dude. That was the first time I ever really like witnessed a fight in this school. Like, I had heard the commotion, you know, went out of the classroom, the teacher was like, hey, Cody, get back in this class. Right before I could see anything, just because there was always a huge crowd of people around the fights. It was so hard to see. And I'm never saying that violence is the answer. It's just like, what are you gonna do? I mean, there's two people fighting. What are you gonna be like, hey, why don't we all take a deep breath and calm down? Like, that would not stop it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's life story commentary. Leave a like if you did. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the names on screen right now. Thank you very much for your support. There's a couple things that I need to tell you before this video ends. Number 1, follow my cat on Instagram. It's right in the description. It's on screen. You can't miss it. Number 2, check out the merch, xCodeh.com/shop. Link in the description. Number 3, drink lots of water today. It's very important. You need it to survive. Lots of people are dehydrated. You don't want to be one of them. You feel like shit. I promise you, you feel a lot better if you drink a lot of water. Very important. And one more thing, I also want to know, what is your favorite pizza topping? I've been trying to get some new pizzas going, and I want to know what's your favorite pizza topping. Such a random outro to this video. Thank you for spending the time out of your day to watch my video. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Stay high, stay lifted, and stay snazzy.